So we want to look at what really makes a man worth listening to with regards to the prophetic and the role of discernment in the prophetic, child of God. So Apostle Paul taught on the spiritual gifts and he touched on many aspects to the gifts. But there is something that today's people usually neglect or ignore with regards to spiritual gifts. So while the prophetic, for example, is important with regards to exhortation, edification, and comfort, there are things that the Apostle Paul addressed that we need to watch out for. Apostle Paul taught on the order with which the gift of prophecy must function, even the gift of tongues and the interpretation of tongues. That means when you are looking at a man and you want to know if he is worth listening to, it's also important to investigate the order and the structuring around his gift, because this is very, very important. The respect for authority around the man and in the words of the man is very, very important. Order and organization, child of God. And number two, Apostle Paul touched on something very important, which is discernment. You see, if you wait for God to give you a dream, a vision, or your pastor to talk to you or something else, you might end up not getting a lot of information from God, because God speaks through people and so does Satan. So what you need is an ability to discern the authority of God behind a man. You see, if you can tell that whoever is speaking to you carries the authority of God, if you can discern that authority, then you can listen to them attentively. And if the authority of God is missing in the words of the person, then you can stop listening to them. So it's important for you to be able to discern the authority behind the person that you are listening to, child of God. It's very, very important, because that way God can speak to you through other people, and that way you can also pick up on when Satan wants to speak to you via people and wants to deceive you via people. So this is very, very important, and I encourage you, child of God, that from now on you discern and you operate in strength in Jesus' name.